You asked me what I thought about continuous glucose monitors or CGMs for people without diabetes. Well, here's my thoughts. I certainly do not fall in the camp of CGMs are garbage and they have no utility for people without diabetes. I think CGMs are something that we should explore through more scientific inquiry. But if the science is here, then the hype is here. And we really need to bridge that gap. Here's a few things that I want you to consider. Number one, blood glucose excursions, or spikes as they're often called on social media, are not necessarily pathological. It's normal for blood glucose to go up and down after a meal, and there is really no evidence to suggest that a higher rise in blood glucose within the normal range leads to worse health outcomes than a lower rise in blood glucose also within the normal range. And whether or not a lower blood glucose excursion does lead to improved health outcomes may depend on how you are going about lowering your blood glucose levels. Which brings me to point number two. Blood glucose is merely one biomarker that can be used to predict your risk of diseases like type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. But we know from studies like this, when you make food choices to lower your blood glucose levels, it's entirely possible that your blood lipids go up. That is, there is a seesaw effect. Blood glucose comes down and blood lipids go up. The continuous glucose monitor is only showing you one side of that coin. If we simply base our food choices off of the mantra, lower the blood glucose, the better, we may in fact be worsening our dietary pattern and other important biomarkers, and hence increasing our net risk of developing disease and even our net risk of premature death. My advice to you, if you choose to wear a continuous glucose monitor, and I have used one for a few weeks myself, is don't let it take you away from what is an established healthy theme of eating. That is a diet that is low in saturated fats and ultra-processed foods and is rich in plant protein, fiber, and unsaturated fats. A good example of this that you can refer to are the guidelines from Health Canada, which you can modify to be omnivorous, vegetarian, or plant exclusive, depending on your dietary preference.